Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Intel. It is time for another update, and today we'll be discussing the extension we managed to follow through very nicely within this area, but also a possible top that could have formed here already. Well, we will be discussing more about that in a moment, but before that I want to go quickly through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new. And here we have been tracking in the most simple structure this idea of a 1-2 setup, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and a fifth wave that would be forming right now. And this is a valid interpretation, but I do want to make it clear, it's not the only scenario. We have gone through the other interpretations that could work out on this chart. It could be even a series of 1-2 setups that have formed within this area, and even this could be another 1-2 setup where a third wave would follow. Well, if this is the case, we are in for a very insane ride, because yeah, if this is the wave 3 of such a high amount of 1-2 setups, this is expected and can be expected to have insane extensions. Yeah, we have seen sometimes the wave 3 extend to even the 400% extension. Yeah, we can see, let's say, even the 17k level within the larger wave 3 that could form within this area. It could of course form this uptrend over decades, but the idea is we could be watching for very significant extensions as part of this uptrend, and we will definitely want to be looking for opportunities on this chart because the outlook is very amazing. We have here an initial 1-2 setup. We have gotten to the last level of support within this area, and we might have already formed the initial 5-wave move to the upside internally within this structure. Now, I'm not telling you to run and buy this stock, I'm just telling you the potential it has. This is based on the market structure. This is based on the depiction of the market sentiment throughout the decades on this chart, and especially throughout the latest decade, let's say, and the last year. Yeah. Now, within this structure, we have formed once again a significant bottom within this wave 2 at the last level of support. I'm not looking for an extension lower. I am in fact looking for the next 1-2 setup. Within this structure to the upside, we have been looking for the initial 5-wave move to the upside. And in the previous video, we hadn't formed the 5th wave yet, but now we might have formed a top, or we would be very close to a significant top. Now, I cannot guarantee this will actually play out in this manner, but there are signs that this is coming towards the end of its uptrend. It's not a must, but it is certainly within a risk area. Keep in mind, from the local low we have formed within this wave 2 correction in blue, we have risen nearly 200%. Yeah, this is in what, like 8 months? Yeah, very substantial increase, nothing to actually throw away. Yeah. Now, within this structure, in the previous video, I was looking still even for possible extensions in a white interpretation that would allow push higher within this wave 3 in yellow. And remember, we are tracking this in yellow only to see better, only to have it on top of the blue scenario, on the blue area of support, because we wanted to keep it to still use it as support, basically. Yeah. Remember here, we used these levels once again when we have broken above them as support for continuation higher, even here. Then once again here within the 5th wave, within the very 5th wave, we were tracking to the upside in this yellow interpretation. Now, I don't necessarily prefer the white interpretation that would allow this to still be part of the wave 3, but it's not necessarily impossible for it to be the case. But based on the daily and even the weekly RSI, we do start to see some divergences. We do start to see some signs that we may be coming towards of this uptrend. And I would actually be glad of it, because I can track this as an initial 5-wave move to the upside. I can be looking here for a 1-2 setup for a very interesting opportunity to accumulate within the relevant area of support that I will provide you today in this video. Now, this is assuming we have topped within the 5th wave. I have looked already at the internal structure within the 5th wave, and I do prefer that we extend a little bit higher, but I don't need much to have a full count within its structure. Yeah, sometimes we actually form early tops and we come crashing down, especially after a diagonal structure. Now remember the area of support, and focus on this area in yellow. The area of support is here between the $33.7 all the way down to the $22 level. As long as we hold the 78.6% retracement, we can look still with high probability for continuation higher in a potential wave 3 to the upside. Now remember, this would be a wave 3 of an even larger wave 3. We would see very serious extensions in a normal outcome, in a normal follow through of this pattern. Now, I cannot guarantee it. I cannot even guarantee that this will not form a larger initial wave 1 part of this larger wave 3, and this could also be the case, in which scenario I wouldn't necessarily expect the wildest extension within the third wave, yeah, probably something more tame, but I would still be looking for a very profitable potential, yeah, profitable outcome to be tracked within this idea of a 1-2 setup within this area. Now, before we actually get into the structure of this fifth wave, I also wanted to provide you a relevant area of resistance to look out for, especially considering that we could be very close to a top within this structure. And please notice how it is very much in the range of the fifth wave that I am expecting to form a top within, yeah? Remember, I mentioned to you a few moments ago that within this fifth wave, I would still like to extend a little bit higher. Well, a little bit higher is the last level of resistance for even a possible reset within the wave 2, and the market generally likes to let there be confusion, to let there be room in interpretation between patterns, and this would very much allow it, because I cannot outrule, of course, a reset of this wave 2. We could have formed the bottom. I would heavily prefer that we form the bottom. It's not a high probability scenario for me to have a reset, but we could come back down, especially if we don't break the area of resistance, and for example, form only a slightly lower low while still holding the 78.6% retracement. It does happen sometimes. But with all these ideas in mind, I would be very careful of this last level of resistance. I would find it difficult for this stock to manage to break through directly through the 78.6% retracement. We have here also structural resistance to watch out for. Yeah, we formed here this significant top previously. We have gotten almost there. Yeah, we could get a little bit above it, but then we would easily be able to expect a larger retracement, and that could very easily be the larger wave 2 correction. Now, would that be a crash and burn? No. We could very easily only form a correction in a 3-wave pattern, let's say into the 38.2% retracement, before continuing in a very, very strong uptrend. So overall, I'm very bullish on this stock. I'm still looking for continuation higher, and that is applicable even for this smaller fifth wave. And remember, in this structure, we were tracking a leading diagonal, meaning I don't expect to form a 5-wave move to the upside within this fifth wave, meaning I only need to build here an ABC structure to have a full pattern. Now, what would I expect to build within this ABC? Well, the wave A is complete. In my opinion, I wouldn't be looking for anything more to do with it. We have here the correction in a wave B and then a wave C that we can track in this area. The wave C is a 5-wave structure, and within it, I am tracking an ending diagonal because we have formed clear corrective structures in this area. We don't have a clear impulse within this pattern, and yeah, this is probably the most likely interpretation to work out. And there are a couple of options to track it, but my preferred interpretation would consist of having this as a 1, 2, 3. I would expect a wave 4 correction and a fifth wave to extend higher. In this interpretation, we are able to look even for the ideal target for the wave 3, see if we actually manage to reach it. It is the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. We have reached it perfectly, in fact. And yeah, I would like to still see the correction in a wave 4 and the fifth wave to form before assuming a top is in place. Now, could this wave 3 extend even higher? Possibly, but I wouldn't necessarily expect it. I already have here an ABC structure within the wave 3. I don't need any additional extensions higher. And for a signal that a more significant top is already in place, we can track a relevant area of support that is here at the levels between the $47.4 all the way down to the $43 level. If we break below the 61.8% retracement, I would be highly prepared for a top to already be in place. We could consider this wave C to already be complete, yeah. I don't absolutely need it to extend higher. We could form something even like a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th. We might form still another high in this fifth wave in an ABC structure. Doesn't matter too much. I would still prefer another high within this area, but for me, a break below the $43 level, once again, is a signal that a more significant top would be in place. But for a clear signal, I will always need to see a break below the resistance levels that allow us to track continuation higher. As long as we can track continuation higher, I will do so, because the market can always extend, the structure can always form a larger pattern, a larger extension. And remember, even this structure, even this wave 3 could extend higher. We could get then another fourth and another fifth before we form a more significant top within the wave 1. But for all the reasons I outlaid in this video, I do prefer that we form a top within this wave 1 here in the near term, because we would have a full structure. It would allow us a high probability wave 1 complete for a 1-2 setup to look for continuation higher. But yeah, certainly we are in a high risk area in my opinion, and for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.